There's an unspoken rule at this elite academy. Real nobles only eat the crescent-shaped cheek meat when eating fish. So if someone chows down on fishback meat, they get recognized as a kid from a poor family right away. This is an elite game designed by heirs of the 4 major conglomerates. Every year, they select 50 underprivileged students to pretend to be members of wealthy noble families. The game lasts for 1 month. If you pull off the disguise, you get a huge cash prize. If you accidentally get exposed, you have to work for the 4 major conglomerates for free for 50 years. But I am just a low-class nobody who can barely even feed himself every day. But by a strange twist of fate, due to an accident, I got selected by this elite academy while delivering takeout. I lowered my head, staring at the gold-rimmed game invitation in my hand. I thought of my mother who was bedridden at home. Finally, I nodded and decided to join this weird and absurd game. On the first day of school, I tried my best to act like a cold, dignified, top-tier heir, dragging a suitcase from a light luxury niche brand, and walked into the school gate. At the entrance, it was packed with rich young masters and ladies who came to watch the fun. Just because today is the day this elite game officially kicks off. Everyone stared expectantly at the soon-to-appear group of clumsy impersonators. I knew very well in my heart, they just wanted to laugh at slumdogs from the ghetto, who try to pretend to be nobles, and mock their obvious nervousness and embarrassment. Some people even set up a betting pool for this, guessing how many days these lowly commoners can last this time. Very soon, when my clear, handsome face came into view, I immediately caught the attention of all the rich young masters and ladies present. I naturally carried a cold, dignified air between my brows, which made all the rich heirs glance at me one after another and whisper to guess my identity. I frowned slightly, looking at the crowd that completely blocked the school gate, then glanced down at the potholed, wet ground, raised my hand and picked my ear impatiently, then pointed at the stunned rich boy standing nearby. Take off your jacket and lay it down for me to step on. I don't like getting my shoe soles wet. As soon as I finished speaking, the named rich boy stared at me with a shocked face. Holy crap, this guy is way too arrogant. Could he be that legendary, mysterious heir everyone talks about? The originally noisy crowd went dead silent for a few seconds, and no one dared to say a word to refute. Because this year, the 4 major conglomerates added a new twist. To make the game more difficult, they actually invited all the retired top-tier old money heirs to all pretend to be newly arrived civilian students. Even though I only carried a niche brand suitcase, everyone couldn't tell for a moment whether I was a fake young master impersonated by a civilian or a top heir pretending to be weak to fool everyone. I narrowed my eyes with a cold and stern expression. It seemed like I didn't take anyone around me seriously at all. Everywhere my gaze swept, all the stunned young masters and ladies felt a bone-chilling coldness. The air seemed to have frozen solid. Everyone dared not make any rash moves, afraid of offending that legendary top-tier old money heir. Oh my god, who is this guy? His aura is way too strong. But there were also students who hated my arrogant attitude. They scoffed and said, "Humph. I bet he's one of the selected lowlifes this time. He just has smarter tricks than others, that's all." I walked up to that resentful rich young lady. In front of everyone's shocked gazes, I raised my hand and slapped her right across the face. "What did you just say?" "Say it louder, I didn't hear you." After saying that, I pulled a handkerchief out of my pocket, wiping my hand with a disgusted look on my face. No one expected me to hit her without saying a word first, and they immediately started chattering among themselves. "That's insane! That's the daughter of Wei Defu, who's in the top 10 of the global rich list. How dare he even hit her? How can a man hit a girl like that? It's not like..." She only said a couple of things about him. That's so ungentlemanly. The hit-rich young lady covered her face with a look of total disbelief. She had never suffered such humiliation ever since she was a kid. The rich young lady pointed at me, shaking all over with rage. "How dare you hit me? Do you know who my dad is?" "My dad is Wei Defu, top 10 on the global rich list. Offend me and you're as good as dead." I didn't take the rich young lady's threat seriously at all, and lifted my foot to walk past her and leave. This rich young lady who was always spoiled by everyone had never been ignored like this before. She suddenly grabbed the hem of my shirt. "Stop right there. Who said you can leave?" There was a sudden clattering sound, and a black gold card with golden patterns fell to the ground. A sharp-eyed student spotted it immediately, pointed at the ground with a shocked face. "Hey everyone, look over there." "What is that thing?" Everyone's eyes locked onto that black gold card on the ground. "That's a black gold card." "A black gold card?" There are only 3 of those in the whole world. Waves of shocked gasps echoed all around the crowd. I curled the corners of my mouth slightly. I thought to myself that this trick really worked. It was worth all the money I spent forging this black gold card. I lifted my head, pointed arrogantly at the boy who threw the clothes earlier, then pointed at the black gold card on the ground. Pick this card up. It will be yours from now on. The boy was extremely flattered. His face showed ecstatic expression like he had won the lottery. Even though I spoke almost like a benefactor, the boy didn't feel humiliated at all. Instead, he smiled obsequiously, rushed over to pick up the black gold card by my feet, then handed it back to me respectfully with both hands. This card is so valuable. I wouldn't dare use it even if I had 10 guts. You'd better keep it properly. I glanced at it in disgust, then took the dirty black gold card through a handkerchief. I tossed it lightly and threw it accurately into the trash can next to me. This card is already this dirty. How can I still use it, since no one wants it? Just throw it away. The classmate who recognized the black gold card earlier was clutching his chest with a heartbroken face. My heart hurts so bad. That's the black gold card that only has 3 copies worldwide. He just threw it away casually like that. And the boy who threw the clothes standing in front of me rolled his eyes quickly, decided that I was a top rich heir pretending to be a civilian this time. He quickly looked up and asked carefully, "Hello, classmate. My name is Jung Rui. My family runs hotel business. May I ask who you are?" Jung Rui asked the question that everyone present wanted to know. I knew this was my first test to get into this elite school. Success will get me the ticket to this noble game. Failure will leave me doomed forever. I took a deep breath, forced myself to hide my nervous look, spoke calmly, what my identity is. You are not worthy to know. Just then, people from the student union rushed over, stood in front of the cold, quiet boy surrounded by the crowd. You are Gumoyan, right? For new student registration. You are the only one left who hasn't registered. Come with me quickly. As soon as the voice fell, the surrounding crowd burst into an uproar immediately. His last name is Gu, could it be? He is the top rich family that has kept low profile for years, the young master of the Gu family. I heard that young master Gu just returned to China this year. I didn't expect he was pulled here like this. The school really spent a lot for this game. The arrogant noble girl just now immediately hid behind the crowd, scared that I would take fierce revenge on her. Jung Rui's attitude became even more obsequious, quickly grabbed the suitcase from my hand. Let me carry your luggage for you. How can you do such trivial thing yourself? Just leave it to me. Jung Rui patted his chest to show his loyalty to me. I nodded, pretending not to care at all, then walked straight ahead without looking sideways, but quietly breathed a sigh of relief when no one noticed. Casually, my eyes swept over the faces of these noble young masters and ladies. When I found everyone showing awe in their eyes, I knew this just returned to China. Identity of the mysterious young master of the Gu family was successfully established. It was worth the 3 months of careful preparation I spent. Because in this school, almost everyone is from rich and noble families. A little carelessness will get my identity exposed. Only pretending to be from an unfathomable, mysterious family can I frighten these people. The identity of young master of the Gu family who just returned to China can just help me avoid the shortcoming of having no friends in China. After the new student registration ended, I walked steadily on the campus. Along the way, I looked dismissive of the luxurious buildings of the noble school. My expression was calm, like I was wandering in my own backyard. My cold and noble look made everyone more convinced that I was the young master of the Gu family. Their attitude towards me became even more respectful. Soon, I stopped in front of a luxuriously decorated single villa, raised my hand and pointed ahead. This place is pretty good. I'll live here. A female classmate opened her mouth in shock and exclaimed, "Oh my God, this is the place where heirs of the 4 big financial groups live. How dare he do that?" Jung Rui looked at the cold, quiet boy in front of him with embarrassment. Young master? I know a place that is absolutely no worse than here. How about we choose another one? I ignored Jung Rui's dissuasion, walked straight into the villa, pointed at one of the bedrooms. This bedroom looks pretty good. Come here and throw all his stuff out for me. Then replace everything with new ones. And clean it up thoroughly. Jung Rui was so scared that cold sweat broke out all over him. This is Lai Xiao from the 4 big Cheebles! Who's got the worst temper? This is his room. If he comes back and catches us doing this, neither of us will get away with it. I shot them a cold glare. What's there to be scared of? Who even is he? All of a sudden, one of Lai Xiao's crazy superfans immediately saw red and tried to rush over to stand up for him, but was stopped by his calm friend next to him. Are you insane? His last name is Gu. Do you have a death wish? The crazy fan calmed down right away and could only watch as Li Xiao's belongings got thrown off the building one by one. There was a loud bang as it hit the empty ground downstairs, which immediately caused a commotion. Is he out of his mind? These are Li Xiao's personal belongings. He just threw them away like that. Zheng Rui upstairs didn't hesitate at all. He immediately took out his phone and made a call. His tone was urgent and fawning. Hello? Bring people over right now. Buy everything that was in young Master Li's room. Exactly the same as the original ones. Don't get anything better than the original. After hanging up the phone, he made sure to peek downstairs, looking super eager to suck up. Soon all the luggage was packed up. After I closed the bedroom door, I could clearly feel the gaze that had been on my back was completely gone. The cold, aloof expression I'd been holding on to immediately faded, and I let my guard down completely, then flopped onto the soft big bed in the luxury villa. I patted my chest and let out a long sigh of relief. That was close. I finally passed the first level. For this game of the nobles, I was fully prepared. I not only quit all my part-time jobs, but also used the 100,000 yuan deposit from the elite school and hired a detective 3 months in advance to look up info on all the wealthy and prominent families and wrote all the details down in a notebook. During the preparation period, I memorized everyone's family background from the elite school and personality traits perfectly, especially the info on the 4 big chaebol families. I knew those like the back of my hand. I even bit the bullet and borrowed 1 million yuan from a lending platform. I knew perfectly well in my heart, once I made this decision, I could only succeed in this game. Failure was not an option. Otherwise, I'd live forever in the shadow of debt collectors chasing me. I sat up, pulled out from inside my coat a photo of me and my mom. My expression turned serious. I swore silently to myself. This time, not only will I, after I successfully pull off the disguise in a month, get the huge prize money, I will also completely cross social classes and become a real noble. As long as I have power, all the past suffering will never come for me again. I will never be a bottom feeder that people step on again. This time, I'm going to stand at the top of the pyramid. The next day was the first day of school. I walked into the classroom right as the class bell finished ringing. Dozens of pairs of eyes immediately turned to look at me. I put on a dismissive expression and walked past all their burning stares to sit down in a corner by the window. The students who had been sitting nearby, when they saw me coming over, all got up and left immediately. They didn't dare mess with me. This supposed young Master Gu from a wealthy family, even though I didn't do anything out of line. Everyone's burning stares were still fixed on me. Just then, Tang, one of the 4 big chaebol heirs, actually sat down right next to this cold young man. Everyone was full of confusion and shock. Some even secretly guessed. With Tang's noble and prominent status, how could she take the initiative to get close to this unknown young man? Could she be here to publicly expose this young man's hidden real identity? I had been lying on the desk ready to sleep when I heard the whispers around me and was immediately stunned. Tang is the most naive and sweet one out of all the 4 big chaebol heirs. A smile tugged at the corner of my mouth. Looks like Tang is the perfect opportunity for me to break into high society. I sat up, turned to look at Tang, and took the initiative to reach out my hand in greeting. Tang, I like you. As soon as I finished, the whole class burst into screams. Holy shit, what's going on? He just confessed like that. Tang also looked at me with a confused face. At that moment, sunlight came through the window and hit my face, gilding my already outstanding appearance with a soft glow that looked noble and dazzling. Tang had never seen such a good-looking boy before. She was blown away at first sight. The feeling of being offended she had just now disappeared immediately. Instead, she started acting all shy like a little girl. This beautiful scene was quickly posted online by someone, the exclusive lounge for the 4 major chaebols. Chi Hanju is sitting on a custom-made leather sofa. His brows are tightly furrowed, with a serious look on his face, staring at the stunning photo of Tang and I on the forum. Chi Hanju looks casual and unconcerned, swiping through the comment section under the post. The movement of his finger suddenly stops at a comment from young Master Gu. Chi Hanju raises an eyebrow. Young Master Gu just started the semester and already confessed to Tang, the most beloved daughter of the Tang family. That's pretty bold of him. But how come I've never seen him before? The woman with gold-rimmed glasses beside him is the mature, poised Leng Yuejian. She responds casually. He has been living abroad this whole time. It's totally normal that you haven't seen him. No need to make a big deal out of it. Leng Yuejian lifts her eyes and accidentally catches sight of the aloof young man on the forum. A flicker of surprise crosses her eyes. She silently clenches her fist, but still acts like nothing happened at all. Chi Hanjo stares at the photo on his phone, still feeling confused. Even top-tier wealthy families that have kept a low profile for years can't have zero public information, right? Chi Hanzo's confused look completely piques the curiosity of Li Xiao, who was bored out of his mind sitting nearby. He immediately leans over and snatches the phone from Chi Hanjo's hand, wanting to see what kind of person can make the usually calm Chi Hanjo act so out of character. Chi Hanzo doesn't notice in time, and his phone gets snatched by Li Xiao before he can even react. Li Xiao jumps over to the other sofa and sits down. He opens the phone and zooms in on the photo of the aloof young man. A stunning young man sitting by the window, bathed in sunlight, comes into view. Li Xiao's jaw drops instantly, his face filled with disbelief. Holy crap! How can someone be this ridiculously good-looking? Someone with looks this unforgettable? There's no way I'm only hearing about him now. Chi Hanzo nods in full agreement. Exactly, logically speaking. With his level of good looks, there's no way he's completely unknown in our circle. Is there some hidden secret here? Lang Yuejin adjusts her glasses on her nose and speaks in a cool, calm voice. Chi Hanjo, you seem a little different lately. You never used to care even a little bit about stuff like this. Chi Hanjo freezes for a second, then immediately denies it. Really? I'm just killing time making random guesses, that's all. Li Xiao can't hear a word of what they're saying anymore. He just keeps his eyes glued to the aloof young man on his phone screen. His finger slowly traces the outline of his stunning face. A faint smirk tugs at the corner of his mouth. This Gumoyan at school is pretty interesting. None. All the rich young masters and ladies head to the school cafeteria for lunch. I'm sitting in the corner of the cafeteria, staring down at the steamed grouper on my plate. I freeze for a second, because this elite school has an unspoken rule. Real nobles only eat the crescent-shaped meat near the fish's gills, so if anyone takes a bite of the fish's back meat, they'll be immediately labeled as a kid from a poor family. This is the second test for imposters in this rich people's game. Tons of imposters have been caught in this test and ended up totally disgraced. I specifically prepared for this test and practiced for 2 whole weeks at home beforehand. When I keep a straight face and reach my chopsticks towards the crescent meat near the gills, I can clearly feel the intense stares around me die down a little. Suddenly, Tang Tang runs over with her tray and sits down across from me. She glances at the steamed grouper in front of me and starts trying to make small talk. Gumoyan, you like eating fish too? What a coincidence, I love fish too. I don't lift my head. I just give a small nod. As a response to Tang Tang, her question just now I already explained earlier, that the confession in the classroom earlier was just a joke. But Tang Tang has surprisingly stuck to me ever since. She keeps chattering excitedly in front of me, telling me all the gossip about the elite school. I get caught up in the relaxed vibe Tang Qinghe creates, and slowly let my guard down. My chopsticks reaching for the grouper slip a little, almost going for the fishback meat. I get a huge fright instantly. Cold sweat immediately breaks out on my forehead. Even though I practiced hard for 2 weeks, before I enrolled in this elite school, I ate fishback meat for over 10 years. It's a poor person's instinct. Tang Tang sees my movement and stops me immediately. She thinks I just came back to the country and don't know the rules of the circle. She kindly reminds me, don't take the fishback meat. You just got back to the country, so you might not know. Our school has an unspoken rule. We only eat the crescent meat near the fish's gills when we have fish. Otherwise, you'll be seen as a kid from a poor family. Luckily, Tang Tang is super naive. She totally buys my fake identity. Otherwise, my cover would have been blown. I kept a straight face. Quickly shifted the direction of my chopsticks. Precisely picked up a piece of the crescent tender meat. Popped it into my mouth and chewed. Then gave Tang Tang a faint smile. Wasting food is a shame. Tang Tang patted her chest and sighed in relief. I knew it. There's no way Brother Gumoyan would eat fishback meat. He was just worried about wasting food. Brother Guyan is really so gentle. I think I actually kind of have a crush on him. In the exclusive late-night canteen of the 4 top tycoon families upstairs, Yishao caught sight of my near move to pick the fishback meat and curled his lips into an ambiguous smile. He looked at Chi Hanjo sitting opposite him. Hanjo, did you see that? That Guyan actually wanted to eat fishback meat just now. Chi Hanjo swirled the wine glass in his hand. He looked at the aloof teen downstairs with a curious gaze. That is a bit suspicious. But lifestyles abroad are really more laid back. It's not that weird for him to do something like that. Ye Xiao raised an eyebrow in disbelief. Oh really? But as for this famous young master of the Gu family, I'm getting more and more interested in him. With that, Ye Xiao suddenly stood up and headed downstairs. At this moment, I was sitting at the dining table eating my meal elegantly. Tang Tang was also telling me all the legendary stories of the 4 top tycoon families at school. All of a sudden, a tall, dark figure blocked the only light in the canteen. Tang Tang and I both looked up. The first thing we saw was that cocky, carefree look of Li Xiao. He looked down at my dinner plate, where most of the crescent meat on the grouper was already eaten. He smiled provocatively. "What's wrong, young Master Gu? You just got back to the country, so you don't know our rules for eating fish. Want me to teach you?" Everyone noticed the commotion over here and immediately put down their chopsticks. Curious looks came from all directions. After all, this is young Master Zhang from one of the 4 top tycoon families, picking on the supposedly top wealthy Gu family. Who would want to miss a show like this? Li Xiao casually pulled a chair over from the side and sat down opposite me casually. He had a careless, unruly look between his brows. He pushed the grouper on his plate closer to me. "What's wrong? You scared? Or you've stayed abroad for too long? That you're already used to this?" Listening to his words that looked down on poor people, I tightened my grip on the chopsticks in my hand and forced down the anger inside me. Provocation! This was straight up provocation. Looks like that careless move I made just now has already made the 4 top tycoon families suspicious. I'll have to be more careful from now on. I ignored Li Xiao's provocation, elegantly pulled out a handkerchief and wiped the corner of my mouth, and looked coldly at Li Xiao. "You're sticking your nose where it doesn't belong. Do you have a crush on me or something?" As soon as I said that, the crowd around burst into murmurs. No one could believe it, that I had the guts to do that. An insult one of the heirs of the 4 top tycoon families. Li Xiao's face turned bright red immediately. He slammed the table and stood up in anger, and denied it furiously. "Bullshit, I'm totally a straight guy, straight. Why would I have a crush on you? Some random guy with unknown background. That's ridiculous." I pretended like nothing happened, picked up my dinner plate and stood up, and looked at Li Xiao with a contemptuous expression. "Yeah, right, you're not even good enough to like me." With that, I turned around and left. Li Xiao pointed at my back, shaking with anger. Tang Tang hurried to catch up with me when she saw this. She humped when she passed Li Xiao, muttering, "Serves you right. Who asked you to pick a fight for no reason?" Shi Hanju looked down at the commotion happening downstairs. He was shocked. He didn't expect Li Xiao to lose so quickly. Shi Hanju gently swirled the wine glass in his hand. A meaningful smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. Interesting. Things are getting more and more fun. I went back to the classroom and waited for class to start. I suddenly got a weird text message on my phone. "Be careful these days. Li Xiao lost so much face just now. He won't let you off that easily." I had no idea who sent this text, but I guessed that the only people who can call Li Xiao by his name directly, I think, are the other heirs of the 4 top tycoon families. I frowned and thought about it. I didn't think any of them would help me. I thought for a long time but still got no answer. So I put down my phone and put this matter aside for now. Because this person, who texted me to warn me about Li Xiao, won't harm me for the time being. A few more days passed. Sure enough, just as the text message warned, Li Xiao kept showing up in front of me to fish for attention. Though he didn't directly send people to corner me, his tricks were way more disgusting. Putting rats in my desk, pouring chili water on my chair, or purposely spouting rich people's insider jargon right in front of me. But these silly tricks didn't prank me at all. Instead, I paid him back the exact same way and shut him down completely. So that made me, for a while there, blame every single prank that happened. Ondiso no matter what. Finally, Li Xiao got so fed up with all the trouble that he laid low for a few days and stopped messing with me. Half a month passed in the blink of an eye. The game also entered its intense final stage. I was getting closer and closer to winning that big cash prize. During this time, my relationship with Tang Tang got better and better. Also, thanks to my identity as the young master of the Gu family, lots of rich and powerful families came to suck up to me. My wallet got fatter and fatter. It felt like everything was going in the right direction. But you can't hide a flaw forever. Zheng Rui, the guy who helped me carry my luggage when I first got here, noticed something was off about me. Recently, he saw that I wore the same outfit 2 days in 1 week. Stuff like that, for rich young masters and misses who grew up spoiled, is a total dead giveaway. After PE class one day, I suddenly noticed my backpack had been rummaged through. I immediately looked around panic-stricken. My gaze quickly locked onto Zheng Rui's back as he was trying to run away. I immediately went on high alert. Even though I had hidden all the information I collected on the nobles a long time ago, I knew guys like Zheng Rui, who were the first to suck up to me, would stab me in the back anytime for profit. If he ever finds out That I'm just a regular guy who used to can't even afford meals. With his petty personality, he would definitely come after me like crazy. During class, Jung-Roy purposely leaned over to me, pointing at my limited edition sneakers that I've worn for 3 days straight, and said loudly on purpose, "Young Master Gu, these limited edition sneakers of yours, I've seen you wear them for 3 days already. Why haven't you changed them? The Gu family is such a huge clan. You can't possibly not have money to buy new shoes, right?" Everyone's eyes immediately turned to me. Whispers broke out all around. Yeah, I've seen young Master Gu wear these shoes so many times too. What if he's not actually the young master of the Gu family, but some dirty commoner pretending to be rich? Jung-Rui heard all the questioning voices around him, and a smug smile started spreading across his face. I could tell right away he did this on purpose. He was trying to force me to slip up in front of everyone. I raised an eyebrow casually, then scoffed, "You don't even know this. These shoes of mine were custom made by a famous international designer. It's a distressed style. Every pair is made with special techniques. The more worn they look, the more valuable they are." Jung-Rui didn't buy it at all. He thought I was just bluffing. Stop lying to yourself. Distressed style, my ass. Why have I never heard of that? You probably bought this cheap knockoff from a street stall to fool everyone. A lot of people bought Jung-Rui's story, but one student who knew his stuff gasped. I know these are the final work of Master Kevin, who just came back to the country. There are only 3 pairs in the whole world. Everyone looked completely shocked. Who knew there were shoes that get more valuable the more worn they are? Jung-Rui stumbled back in shock. Impossible, I smiled knowingly. This was exactly the scene I wanted. Ever since I found out Jung-Rui rummaged through my backpack that day, I knew this day would come. To prepare for this counterattack, I even hired a private investigator to track down where Master Kevin's limited edition sneakers ended up. And I found out by chance. One pair was on display in a museum, using my reputation as a top-tier rich heir that I built in this elite school. I intimidated the museum manager, then used all the money I had left to rent this pair of shoes from the museum. For these 3 days, I purposely wore these shoes and walked past Jung-Rui all the time to make him doubt my identity. I even ordered him around a bunch so he would lose his cool and call me out in public. Then I could use his false accusation to fully prove I'm the real young master of the Gu family. From now on, no one will question why I rewear my clothes. Everyone will just think it's another custom-made piece they can't afford. This plan killed 2 birds with 1 stone. I grabbed Jung-Rui's hand, slammed him to the ground hard, and picked up the brick I had prepared earlier. My gaze was ice cold. Which hand did you use to pull that stunt? Jung-Rui went rigid instantly. His face turned purple with tension. He never thought I'd caught on to his moves long ago. Jung-Rui slowly realized too, he might have offended the legendary top-tier wealthy family. A chill shot straight up from the soles of his feet. I didn't care what Jung-Rui was feeling right then. When he didn't answer, I ruthlessly broke his wrist without mercy, then turned and left. The news spread across the whole school in no time. Inside the exclusive lounge, the 4 major financial giants sat together, discussing rules for upgrading the noble game. Shihanzhou twirled the pen in his hand casually. Leng Yuejin broke the silence. Spoke first. These role players are actually pretty capable this time. It's been so long. There are still some who haven't been exposed. Exactly. Looks like it's time to raise the difficulty. Tang Tang doesn't like this so-called noble game at all. It's so boring. You guys keep discussing. I still have to go find my brother Gu Moyan. She stood up impatiently, then turned and left as she spoke. Lai Xiao heard Gu Moyan's name. A glint of cunning flashed in his eyes. A mischievous smile tugged at the corner of his mouth. About the game? I actually have a great idea. Lai Xiao leaned in to whisper in the 2's ears. Lai Xiao's proposal was passed quickly. Though Leng Yuejin didn't agree on the surface, she still nodded in agreement. Right now, I'm lying on the soft big bed in my bedroom. I stared glumly at the tiny remaining balance in my phone. Although I skillfully diffused the crisis of being exposed by Jung-Rui, it also completely drained my wallet. The most urgent thing for me now is to find a way to make money. After all, there's almost a week left until the game ends. While I was racking my brains for ways to make money, my phone pinged with a new message alert. I opened the voice message sent in the class group. Next Friday night, the school will hold its annual freshman gala. At that time, every freshman must bring a token representing their family identity and introduce it. I sat up from the bed in shock instantly, staring at the phone screen. Damn, I'm a poor kid who grew up in the slums. Where the hell am I going to find a family identity token? I'll be exposed in no time, right? I lowered my head and thought, This is obviously a death trap for all role players. This rule never existed in the noble school before. Did they run out of patience? Or did they notice something? But no matter what, the most important thing now is to get through this crisis. While I was pacing back and forth anxiously, that strange number from before sent another text. If you want to get through this crisis, 10 p.m. tonight, meet me at the school rooftop. I stared at this text for a long time. I finally decided to go, because this is the only way I can keep up my noble disguise. It's my last lifeline. Night fell slowly. I went to the school rooftop on time as agreed, but I didn't expect to see an unexpected figure there. Leng Yuejian turned around and walked towards me. The breeze blew through her hair. In the silent night, you could even hear the clack of her high heels. Leng Yuejian saw the shocked look on my face. She let out a soft chuckle. What, surprised to see me? I wiped the shocked look off my face, dropped my wealthy, noble disguise, and showed my true self. After all, Leng Yuejian could send me this kind of text. She must have already figured out my whole identity. There's no point in pretending anymore. I looked at the stunningly beautiful Leng Yuejian in front of me and shook my head. I just can't figure it out. Why are you helping me? Leng Yuejian took out a jade pendant carved with the Gu family crest. She handed it to me. This is the Gu family young master's personal jade pendant. It's just a replica, though. But it's more than enough to fool those dim-witted, rich young nobles, that's for sure. I froze for a second. I didn't dare reach out to take it. When Leng Yuejian saw this, she grabbed my hand and stuffed the jade pendant into my hand. Take it, this is a thank you gift for what you did 10 years ago. You saved a little girl in the alley and almost died doing it. As soon as she finished speaking, my mind was flooded with memories instantly. I suddenly remembered 10 years ago, in the alley, I met that poor little girl surrounded by thugs. Seeing a chance to save a damsel in distress, I didn't hesitate and rushed over immediately. But I was outnumbered. Though the little girl escaped from the thugs, I was beaten black and blue all over. Suddenly, Leng Yuejian's cool voice pulled me out of my memories. I never thought I'd see you again here. I snapped back to my senses. I took the jade pendant Leng Yuejian gave me. I gave her my most sincere smile. No matter what. Thank you so much for this. Leng Yuejian was dazzled by my smile. Her eyes darted around nervously. Then she looked up casually and said, "Don't thank me. I also want to see how far you can go in this elite school. Don't let me down, Gumoyan." After that, Leng Yuejian turned and left. The sound of her high heels faded further and further away, leaving me standing there alone, dumbfounded. I walked to the edge of the rooftop, looked down and clenched the jade pendant in my hand tightly. Then I overlooked the whole view of the elite school at night. I swore silently in my heart. I will definitely make a name for myself here, so that everyone will look up to me. Inside a private villa, someone sent Chi Hanzhou an anonymous package. He was sitting on the living room sofa and opened it casually. It was full of photos of Gu Moyan delivering takeout in rain and working all kinds of part-time jobs. Chi Hanzhou smiled playfully while flipping through the photos. Looks like this young master of the Gu family hides a lot of secrets. The next afternoon, I knocked and walked into the exclusive lounge for the 4 big chaebols. In this huge room, only Chi Hanzhou was sitting alone on the sofa. I walked up to him. Chi Hanzhou tossed a stack of my part-time job photos at me and demanded speak up. What are all these? I was not surprised at all that Chi Hanzhou had these photos. I clearly knew these experiences can never be erased. So I had already come up with an explanation long ago. It's just for life experience, that's all. Only when you know what those poor people really need can you have full control over them. Right. Chi Hanzhou looked at me with great surprise. His look seemed like he approved of me for the first time. He walked to the bar at the back of the lounge and sat down. Then he pointed to the seat next to him. He said in a cold voice, "Take a seat." "Relax. What would you like to drink?" Chi Hanzhou didn't fully buy my explanation. He kept testing me. I looked up and stared straight at Chi Hanzhou. "No thanks, I have class later." "You asked me here today. Don't tell me it's just for this silly little thing. If that's the case, I'm out of here." As I said that, I turned to leave. Chi Hanzhou called out to stop me. "Wait, don't be in such a hurry." I stopped walking. I was secretly overjoyed. I knew I had passed this hurdle. I hid the happy grin on my face and put on a cold expression. I turned around to look at Chi Hanzhou sitting at the bar. "What is it?" He walked towards me at a steady, unhurried pace, pulled out an unlimited black card and handed it to me. "I was rude earlier. This unlimited black card is my apology to you." I looked at the black card right in front of me and fought hard to resist the temptation of money. I pretended to be angry and questioned him. What do you mean by this, young Master Chi? The Gu family. Doesn't need your petty cash. He laughed out loud twice. Ha ha ha, interesting. You really didn't let me down. He pulled out a pre-prepared invitation and handed it to me. There's a street racing party tonight. You got the guts to come along. I took the invitation from Chi Hanzhou with a blank expression. But actually my heart was super anxious. Because I'm such a new driver that I took the road test 3 times before I finally passed. But I knew I couldn't refuse. This invitation is my first ticket into the elite social circle. If I turn it down, all my hard work will go down the drain. 10 p.m. that night, I rode in Chi Hanzhou's fancy luxury car. As we drove along the winding mountain road, I looked out the window and saw bottomless cliffs on both sides of the road. One wrong move and we'd crash and die. Soon, the car stopped at the street racer's usual hangout. The second Chi Hanzhou's car showed up. It grabbed everyone's attention immediately. Then, everyone found that the person getting out of the car wasn't Chi Hanzhou, but some unknown stranger. Everyone immediately turned to look at me curiously. Who is he? Why is he getting out of young Master Chi's car? Wow, he's so good looking. I'm practically drooling over him. Unlike the surprised crowd around, Lai Xiao's eyes went wide, looking at me in total shock. He walked up to Chi Hanzhou and asked quietly, "How did you two end up together? And you even brought him here." Chi Hanzhou looked totally unbothered and didn't think for a second that bringing me into the elite circle was any problem. Don't you think this is super fun? Yixiao saw me standing alone in the middle, with that aloof, noble vibe about me, totally out of place in this deafening racetrack, then raised an eyebrow. You're right. This is really fun. Lai Xiao had his arm around a super hot chick and walked right up to me. Young Master Gu, what a rare surprise. Heard you won a ton of gold medals overseas. Want to join us for a couple of races? I went quiet for a second, knowing full well I couldn't get out of this. I didn't answer Lia Xiao's invitation for ages, so he thought I was silently saying no. Then he pointed to a car next to him. No car? No worries. You can drive my spare one. Its performance is top tier. I looked in the direction Li Xiao was pointing. A super colorful Bugatti popped straight into my view. Looking at that race car decked out like a peacock, I couldn't help twitching the corner of my mouth. Even if I knew nothing about race car performance, I could tell this car was totally unreliable. Lai Xiao was obviously messing with me on purpose. He wanted to test my identity with this car. Lai Xiao pushed the girl in his arms away, leaned down slightly and stared at me. The famous young Master Gu who's been all the rage lately? You're not scared, are you? Li Xiao burst out laughing loudly. The nobles around all started cackling too. Just when I was stuck between a rock and a hard place, Leng Yuejian, who had changed into a cool racing suit, walked out of the lounge. She pushed the annoying Li Xiao aside and stood in front of me. Lai Xiao, you actually have the nerve to take out that junk car. It's literally such an eyesore. This is between me and young Master Gu. When did you get to stick your nose into it? She ignored Li Xiao's yelling, turned to me and smiled softly. I want to see young Master Gu's driving skills too. How about this? I'll be your co-pilot. The whole crowd was totally shocked. What? My goddess Yuejian is going to be the co-pilot for this random brat who showed up out of nowhere. Leng Yuejian, are you kidding me? This isn't some silly playhouse game you mess around with. Leng Yuejian ignored everyone's shocked stares and dragged me into the driver's seat without another word. Leng Yuejian fastened her seatbelt. I turned to look at her seriously. Are you really sure about this? I just got my driver's license not long ago. I can't fully guarantee your safety. It's fine, I trust you. I already installed special modifications on this car ages ago. Besides, you've got this stunning, gorgeous co-pilot right here with you, don't you? Hearing Leng Yuejian say such a narcissistic line, I couldn't help bursting out laughing. All my nervousness vanished right away. I never thought Leng Yuejian, who's always so aloof, would have such a narcissistic side. All preparation. Work was completed. A gunshot rang out. Tons of race cars zoomed off like rockets. I followed right behind them. The race was going on super intensely. At this point, I had to be thankful for my past experience delivering food without being late. Knowing how to find the fastest route is basically etched into my bones. And Leng Yuejian was an amazing co-pilot too. She'd always, when we were approaching turns, help me find the most precise turning point. With Leng Yuejian and I working perfectly together, we quickly passed all the other cars and got into second place. We were only 100 meters away from the last turn. Lai Xiao was still way ahead of us. No matter how much I accelerated, I couldn't pass him. Then Leng Yuejian's excited voice called out, "Gu Moyan!" Trust me, floor the gas. We'll overtake him from the outside of the turn. I glanced down at the bottomless cliff, then turned to look at Leng Yuejian. The excitement in her eyes was impossible to hide. A random surge of adrenaline shot through me immediately. My blood was pumping like crazy. I yelled excitedly, "Okay, hold on tight. Let's go!" I pushed the gas pedal all the way down as hard as I could. The car let out a deafening roar, like all its parts were about to shake apart. But I didn't hesitate at all, and drove straight ahead. When we were overtaking at the turn, I could clearly feel half the car hanging in midair. I turned the steering wheel hard right away and forced the car back onto the track. My heart was pounding like crazy, like I was gonna die of tachycardia any second. Leng Yuejian also screamed at the top of her lungs. The red finish line tape was broken through. I won first place, beating Lai Xiao by 0.01 seconds. The whole crowd erupted in thunderous applause immediately. No one expected that I would actually beat Li Xiao, heir of the 4 major financial groups. I'm sitting in the car and take a deep breath, listening to the heated discussions around me. It's only now that I realize how scary that was. Leng Yuejian unbuckles his seatbelt, wraps an arm around my neck and says, "You're so awesome. I knew it. I wasn't wrong about you." After that, Leng Yuejian turns around and gets off the car. After I calm myself down, I push the door open and get out too. Lai Xiao walks over awkwardly. "This round doesn't count. You won a gold medal abroad after all. Next time we'll play something else. I'll definitely beat you then," even though Lai Xiao refuses to admit defeat out loud. He's officially accepted me as the young master of the Gu family in his heart. This risky move. "I bet right." Qi Hanzhou also walks towards us. "Not bad, you've got real guts." I'm really looking forward now to your performance at the freshman banquet. The game ends. The arena that was packed and noisy a second ago clears out in an instant. The huge venue is completely empty now. That night, my identity was not just the young master of the mysterious Gu family, but also an impressive tough guy. From then on, many wealthy and noble families heard about what happened that night, and their attitude towards me got more and more respectful. I used the trust of these nobles to start my own business. They poured in tons of money to curry favor with me. I made a total killing out of it. I no longer had to worry about being dead broke, just to keep up my noble act. Time flew by and soon it was the freshman banquet, which is also the last day of this noble game. With the money I made these days, I ordered a very nice custom suit. I held the jade pendant that Leng Yuejian carved with the Gu family crest for me. I entered the banquet hall smoothly. The fancy suit made my already handsome looks stand out even more. The second I showed up, I caught everyone's attention right away. Tang Tang saw me and ran over quickly. "Brother Gumoyan, you're finally here. I've been waiting forever for you. Let me tell you a secret. There's a surprise for you tonight." I looked confused, having no idea what surprise she was talking about. The music started playing. Tang Tang took my hand and sat down with me. The noise around us gradually died down. All of a sudden, a host in a fancy gown walked up to the stage. "Tonight we will witness the birth of a legend. Some say he's a faker from the slums. Others say he's a top heir from the Yin family. Now let's give a warm welcome to Gu Moyan for his speech." My mouth twitched, and I turned to look at Tang Tang, who was happily sitting beside me. "What's going on?" Tang Tang didn't notice how speechless I was at all. "Oh, this is the surprise I specially arranged for you. How is it? Do you like it?" Ignoring my resistant eyes, Tang Tang quickly pushed me onto the stage, facing Tang Tang's expectant look. I had no choice but to suck it up and walk to the microphone. Just as I was about to speak, the lights above went out all of a sudden. On the big screen behind me, pictures of me delivering takeout started popping up. The audience burst into an uproar immediately. "Is this Gu Moyan? Isn't he the heir of the Yin family? He was delivering takeout. This is Gu Moyan." Zheng Rui, who had been holding a grudge, jumped out, took out a stack of photos and threw them into the air. The photos fluttered down like flower petals. Everyone started picking up the photos on the floor, flipping through them one by one. All they saw were photos of me working part-time jobs. Zheng Rui gave me a triumphant smile. So he was the one behind all this. Zheng Rui had held a grudge over the sneaker incident before. He secretly hired someone to investigate my identity and accidentally found these photos of me working part-time. He was worried the photos wouldn't embarrass me like they did last time, so he quietly gave the photos to Qi Hanzhou. He thought he would soon see Gumoyan getting kicked out of this elite school in disgrace. But instead of getting publicly disgraced, Gumoyan became the total star of the show. Zheng Rui wasn't willing to accept this. When he found out Tang Tang prepared a surprise for Gumoyan, he secretly uploaded the photos to the big screen. to let everyone know Gu Moyan's real identity. Just when Zheng Rui thought I was totally done for, the four major conglomerates all stood up to testify for me. Who knows? You faked all these just because you're jealous of Gu Moyan. Who do you think you are? To talk like that. How dare you pull tricks at the freshman banquet? Security, throw him out. The nearby security guards dragged the swearing Zheng Rui away and threw him out of the banquet hall. When everyone saw the four major conglomerates defending me, they all believed what the conglomerates said. It's just Zheng Rui's jealousy acting up. At that moment, I suddenly realized, even with solid, irrefutable evidence right in front of everyone, it still can't beat a few words from wealthy noble families. I walked out of the banquet hall. I saw four people waiting at the entrance. Qi Hanzhou spoke first. Gu Moyan, I'm officially inviting you to join us. Would you like to... It had just passed 12 o'clock, but my phone awkwardly pinged with a new message alert. I looked down at my phone. The 100 million yuan had already hit my account. A satisfied smile tugged at the corner of my mouth. I held my head high and walked toward the four heirs of the top conglomerates. This moment wasn't a new beginning. It was my rebirth.